Remember that if you want to get on, your nickname in the waiting lobby should be your name and your town, city or town, country, even if it's something other than the United States where you're calling from. Let's go next to Joseph from Oregon. Joseph, welcome.
Hi, David. Thanks for taking my call.
Pleasure.
It may be too soon to tell, but I'm interested in what you think the results of the midterms could mean for Trump from a legal perspective. If conservatives are suddenly ready to jump ship for DeSantis, do you think he could finally see a courtroom?
I think the answer is Trump could see a courtroom. I don't really think the midterms are the defining factor, though, and I'll tell you why. Many of the investigations have nothing to do with the midterms in the sense that they are state level elections. And then when it comes to the federal election, Joe Biden remains the president. I'm sorry, the federal investigation. Joe Biden remains the president. Merrick Garland remains the attorney general. And Merrick Garland made it clear whether Trump is or isn't running and whatever happens in the election, it does not impact how we are going to carry out the investigation. And I believe him to a degree anyway. So I actually think that Trump may think the course of the midterms and his potential announcement on Tuesday will change the course of the investigations, but I don't believe that they will.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking my call.
My pleasure. Great to hear from you. Folks, something about the calls this week, very, very strong. I have to tell you, I'm liking it. Let's go next to Steve from Illinois. Steve, welcome to the program. Steve. Steve.
Hello. Sorry. I'm just learning how Discord works.
So we've got a couple issues. It sounds like you're using speakerphone. We're also hearing all of your Discord notifications. So we've got a few different things. What's on your mind today?
You know what? I really just wanted to jump in and listen to this conversation and see how, I was woke up this morning with better news than I thought I would see.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I'm just kind of taking in anything I can get my hands on. And literally, this is my first time ever using Discord, so I really apologize.
No problem. Steve, listen, let me put you back on hold so you can continue listening to the conversation. I really appreciate that. Let's go. I don't know if this is Austin from Louisiana or Louisiana from Austin. Which is your name and which is your location?
My name is Austin. I am from North Louisiana.
Got it. What's on your mind
I
today?
just wanted to come in and say that I was very disappointed with my state. I was really hoping that Gary Chambers would get a larger amount of the vote. But
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate what happened. I went and did my civic duty for the first time. I went and voted for the first time. I'm very happy about it, but very not happy with the results. But I mean, I didn't really expect anything different.
And for people who may or may not know, the race for Senate in Louisiana, the incumbent John Kennedy, Republican, won with about 62% of the vote. Gary Chambers just under 18% of the vote, which is certainly a disappointment, but also not altogether shocking, I have to say.
Well, it also has to do with the vote being split between the two big Democratic
Yes.
senators.
The other Democrat had like 12% or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Not so good. But voting was fine? Did you have long lines? Did you have any armed people intimidating you or anything?
I live in a white suburb, so
okay.
It was pretty easy for me.
No risks there. Yeah, no. It's horrifying that explains it. Oh, okay, so it was fine then. But such is the reality, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. All right, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much for the call. I appreciate that. Why don't we go next to Wasif from is it from Bangladesh?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, Wasif. Oh boy.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. There is a very strange sort of digital noise. I don't know where that's coming from.
Oh, actually, I'm in a university dormitory, so you will hear some noise, I guess.
I got you. All right, is there like a party going on in the background?
Not really. A lot of people are actually in this dormitory. That's why the population is higher.
Oh, I got you. Okay, people are studying. I'm sure it's only studying there. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so my question is actually related to a recent U.S. foreign policy, you could say. It's also related to my country.
Okay.
And that's why I wanted to talk with you about it. So you guys know about the Rohingya crisis, right?
Yes.
That a lot of Rohingya refugees are in my country, right?
Yes.
So originally Rohingyas are from the Rakhine state of Myanmar, right? So what's happening is right now my country is actually facing a big economical crisis. Ukraine war is obviously playing a part of it, and the other reason is the establishment has some underlings who are actually very corrupt, and they have done some terrible stuff with our dollar reserves basically. So what happened is that we are very short on dollar reserve, and we are our government is asking for IMF bailouts and potentially taking money from China, and not both of them are not really being as good enough as they expected it to be. So we are having a crisis, and the banks are not being able to open new LCs. So the price of, let's say, raw materials for making medicine and electronics are going high.
Yeah.
So during this situation, so like we are asking US for help, right? So what they're giving us suggestions, what they're providing is that they're going to give us some kind of support and something like that, but they really want us to do something. So what they're saying is that they're going to upgrade our military.
I hate to interrupt, Wasif, but the audio's a disaster. I'm not super familiar with what you're asking me, and I'm wondering if there is a question coming. I just don't know that I'm the right person to answer it.
Okay. So it's
Hello.
I get it. I'll try to end it as soon as possible. Like 1 or 2 sentences.
Okay.
So US basically wants us to. So the US government basically wants us to annex the Rakhine state and go to a war against Myanmar. That's what I'm saying. So my question is, like, right at this point when the US is basically calling out Russia for annexing all these 4 different regions in Ukraine, right? And they are doing the complete opposite and telling us to do the same thing that what Russia is doing right now. Do you think this is really a good moral ground if this kind of news?
No, Wasif, you're exposing how American foreign policy is basically what's useful right now. I don't even know if the things you told me are accurate representations of what's going on. I just don't know enough about the situation. But if it were true, the US is hypocritical on foreign policy all the time. I don't even know if what you're telling me is the case because I just don't know enough about it. Okay, Wasif, thank you for the call. Let's take a very quick break. I'm not commenting on what he said because I don't know if it's true. Like the US is demanding that Bangladesh do annexation. I've not heard that. I don't know if that's true. Let's take a quick break. We're going to go back to the phones in a moment. Stay with us.